welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be doing a full face of first impressions and some new makeup to me. The thing I was most excited about is the KVD Vegan Beauty Good Apple foundation. I also have a mix of a kind of like older products, like I have the MAC Studio Fix powder, I have the new e.l.f. Stay All Night setting spray, I have the Nabla Secret palette. I also have some new mascaras from the drugstore, the e.l.f. and the Wet n Wild Big Papa. If that's something you guys are interested in, make sure you guys stick around and let's get into the video. Alright guys, so getting into the video, we're going to start talking about the new stuff that I picked up from ULTA. It's not brand new, but the one thing that is new to me is the Good Apple Vegan Beauty Foundation Balm. And I'm really excited to try this. I did talk about that I wanted to pick this up. So there's a Skin Perfecting Foundation Balm. I got the shade Light 015 just because based on their display, obviously you can't touch anything because of COVID. They have everything like covered. But based on the display, I tried to go a shade up, but it was like too cool. And I am a warmer skin, like a warmer undertone, so I picked this one up. I also picked up the KVD Dazzle stick that I was talking about that I wanted, but I actually went with a different shade. Originally I was going to pick up like the lightest shade, and I ended up going with the shade Flash Storm, which I'm really excited about. I also picked up the Kylie Jenner concealer. I know I was not going to pick up any concealers, but this was on sale for $8. And yeah, we'll try that out today, as well as the MAC Studio Fix Perfecting Powder I picked up in the shade Light, just kind of to set all over my face. And the palette that I picked for this month, well, I guess at all, because I haven't picked up a new palette in a while. I think the last newest palette that I picked up was the one from Kimchi. I actually picked up this palette at a local Nordstrom. And I got this on sale with the mirror for $14, and originally it retails for $28. So this is what the palette looks like from Kimchi. It's just really pretty. And I have used it. It's in my current Shop My Stash, so that's what's being used. Really falling in love with that palette. But I picked up the Nabla. I've talked about how I wanted to try Nabla. This is a Secret Garden palette, or no, Secret palette. The Secret Garden's different, Poison Garden, I don't know. There's a bunch of different palettes, but I picked this one up. I know they had their newest one, which was like the Dreamy 2 with the constellation, like the really pretty packaging. But I saw these shades and I really wanted to pick this one up. I just love the cover on this palette. It has like a little star here as well, kind of tying the whole thing in. It's like a faux leather. It is 100% vegan. It's really pretty. I just love this packaging so much. When you open it up, you do get a giant mirror here, and also you have like a little slip. Here are these shades in the palette. They look very pretty. I will be swatching these for you guys. So I guess we'll start with the first row. If you're looking at it this way, we're going to start the first row. The first shade is Aesthetic, Contigo, Big Experience, Julieta. Those are the first four. They feel really nice with that pink. They feel really nice and soft. The one in Julieta is really light. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of add a little bit more here. Those are what the first four look like. Then you have Romeo, which is like a brown, kind of like a satin brown. Similar to Aesthetic, but a little bit deeper. Play Hard, which is a duochrome. Then you have a Rosemary, which is a blue, kind of like a teal deep earth shade. And then the last one here is Addiction, which is a really pretty blue. So I guess I'll just keep them going here. Okay, that blue was really hard to swatch on my pinky, but I'll go ahead and build it up here so you guys can see the shade. Very unique color story. I don't actually have anything quite like this color story in my collection. That's why I picked this up. The last shade in that row is Mea Culpa. I'm not 100% sure if I'm pronouncing these correctly, but it's like a deep brown. Then on the last row, you have I Promise, Hyper Sensual, Ghibli, I think that's how you say that, and Creation Crown. This is the first one in I Promise. This Hyper Sensual shade is like a satin. And then the one in Ghibli is like a kind of like a brownie mustard. Well, actually, no, it's more like a nude brown. And then you have Creation Crown and Nabla, which is like a true black color. So this is the whole palette swatched. Really, really pretty shades. I'm really excited to work with this palette. All right, so yes, that is the palette. It looks really, really pretty, really promising. The shades feel really nice and buttery. I have nothing bad to say about that. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the Vegan Beauty Good Apple Skin Perfecting Foundation Balm here. When I first opened this, which I couldn't help myself when I picked it up, this packaging is just so beautiful. It's like, it's recyclable as well. It says here that it has infused with apple extract to help nourish skin. It says recycle your compacts. You can visit the website to learn how. So it's a foundation base. So doesn't really say much about it here, but it is the Skin Perfecting Foundation Balm from KVD Vegan Beauty, which I think now it's a different name completely, but I have this shade Light 015. I just think this packaging is really, really pretty. I'll go ahead and swatch this shade here for you guys. Obviously it does look much lighter when you swatch it than, you know, the top layer. Like I said, I thought it was a pretty good match here since I am kind of lighter, but I'm going to go ahead and try that today. It feels really nice and like you can pretty much move it around and blend it into your skin, kind of like a stick foundation would feel. So really excited about that. I'm going to go ahead and just do my base really quick, and I want to do a hydrating base. I want to be using the OleHenriksen Banana Bright Primer just because I want something that I know is going to make it not look so slippy on my skin and kind of feel really moisturized. So I'm going to be adding this on my skin. I've been having a lot of random breakouts here, and so they're like recovering. So if you see that, that's what that is. I just like how this feels. A lot of people saying that they don't really like this OleHenriksen primer because it feels more like skincare, which I do agree. It is like more of a skincare product. Like it's more skincare based, but I really like it. So for my pores, of course, I'm going to go with a poreless putty primer from e.l.f. I have the original one. I do love it so much. I'm just going to kind of use it here on my pores where I need it the most. I do have my mirror, so if you see me looking down here, I have a new mirror that I'm using just because I don't want to mess up anything. I was contemplating, should I do my eyes first since the palette does have some deeper shades, but you know what? I think I'm going to just go ahead and do my base first because I haven't done that in a while, so we'll do my base first. And I do have a wig on, if you're wondering. I do have a wig with a headband on because it's just one of those days. All right, so I have a sponge, I have a brush. I'm gonna see if I can do half and half on my face here. I'll do the e.l.f. sponge on this side of my face, and I'll do the hourglass or the foundation brush on this side, just to see how the foundation applies. So we'll start with that. Again, I'm just gonna grab the compact here and just go in with my sponge. Oh, we get a lot of coverage. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to like even it out on my face because it is really pigmented. Oh my gosh, like it gives you a lot of coverage. You can see that right away, and it is probably too light for my skin, but that's okay. You guys can see the coverage it gives my skin here. I'm gonna drag it down my neck here. What I want to say about this is that it doesn't feel heavy on the skin. I like how it's looking. It's not like emphasizing any texture or anything weird on my skin like that. So I do like that about it. So that's the side with the sponge. Obviously, you're going to get more coverage with a brush. So I'm going to go kind of light handed here with this brush. I think that's about good. I'm kind of scared here. See, I don't really like the application with a brush because I feel like you get a little bit more of like a texture on your skin than opposed to the sponge, where it kind of, since it is a little bit damp, it kind of helps the foundation balm stick to your skin, I feel. And with a dry brush, it just kind of feel like it kind of goes everywhere, not as evenly. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this sponge again just to kind of even this side out, because I feel like it needs to be evened out. I don't really like the coverage of the foundation with the brush, unfortunately. I think I could have gone a shade up, like maybe a light medium shade, but I don't think it's a bad match once I apply my powder and stuff. Does it feel tacky? Yeah, it's still a little tacky. It's nothing that's set down anything. I don't see it going into my fine lines. I don't see it settling here in my Hulk wrinkle that it usually does. So it is nice. It does, however, look a little makeup-y, like around my nose, but that's expected with most foundations. I've never had a foundation not do that. So I guess it's not a big downfall to the foundation. It's not the foundation's fault. The only tip I would say with using something like this, I would say if you're going to use a foundation stick or a foundation balm, I would suggest maybe exfoliating and making sure your skin is moisturized, because things like this, like foundations like this, will make your texture appear more evidently than if you were to use like a liquid foundation. I'm just gonna kind of play with my thing here. Okay, so here's what that is looking like. My forehead, it looks fine. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't emphasize any texture. I do have some breakouts here, but it's not anything that can't be covered. I'm going to see if I can just add a little bit more coverage on that side, because I feel like the brush just for some reason didn't. See, I feel like I could add more coverage. I feel like for some reason the brush didn't really do a good job. It could just be that specific brush, because I do have my Sephora one that you can no longer get. That's why I don't want to use it on camera. So that's why I picked up the hourglass one. So I did add a little bit more coverage here and on my chin. I do like how it looks on my skin, however. It's not super drying. It doesn't feel like it needs to be set, to be honest. Like, I'm not getting any transfer or anything. Maybe minimal transfer, but all right, I'm gonna go in with my concealer. This is the Kylie Jenner Skin Concealer, and I'm not sure if that brand is going to like go out of Ulta or something, because all of the concealers were $8. The guy that was in the store, he suggested the shade in Hickory, but I think it's gonna be a little bit too dark, like too pinky. It is in my current Shop My Stash because it is new. Yeah, I think it's a little too, maybe like a more peachy undertone, maybe something that used like to correct, because I don't think that this would work as a concealer. So I'm going to use it more as a corrector, and then I'm going to go in with like a lighter concealer, because yeah, it's way too dark. I think I would use this more as like a corrector base. And to be honest, the Kylie concealer is not full coverage. It doesn't cover my dark spots, like my, you know, under eye bags or anything. I feel like if anything, like I said, this shade is used mostly to correct those, but not even, because I don't feel like it did anything. I'm gonna grab a concealer that I know and love, so I'm gonna grab my Urban Decay Stay All Night, or no, my Stay Naked Correcting Concealer. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I feel like the foundation is oxidizing a little bit, not something too significant. So if that's anything, I would suggest maybe, yeah, I would say try to go with your exact shade. I know especially shopping online, it's hard, but I was actually able to go into my Ulta nearby and look at the shades up front. Like I said, you guys noticed when I swatched the pan of the foundation that it's a different shade than what it shows up on the pan. So also keep that in mind, because it's not going to be true to, you know, what it is. I'm going to go ahead and use the MAC Studio Fix Perfecting Powder. It has a little thing, so I can just open it from the bottom. So yeah, this one is pretty expensive. It was like $32, so we're looking at I want to say like $25 to $30 Like I said, I got the shade Light because I figured since I'm going to be setting with it, this is what the looks like, the component. I'm going to go ahead and just pick up a setter brush. So I'm going to grab this setter brush. This is the Real Techniques Targeted Blending Brush. Just to kind of set my under eyes. I've always wanted to try this MAC powder. I just never found an Ulta close enough to have MAC products close to me. So when I saw this in the Ulta, I was like, I have to pick it up because I always wanted to try it. I feel like it's doing a pretty good job setting my face. I'm going to grab my ColourPop F18 just to kind of set my whole face because it is a foundation balm. I really like how it's looking on my skin. I like this powder. I like how it looks on my skin. So let's see here. Now that I set it, it did get a little bit more tan, I think. I do have a little bit of dark spots, like not dark spots, but like texture with the powder. Here on my forehead, it got a little bit kind of makeup-y. But I think if I use this sponge, maybe that will help it. I don't know, but it just looks like I'll have a dry patch right here. I think it was just the powder. Maybe I shouldn't have gone over my face with the powder. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and prime my eyelids. And for my primer, I'm just gonna use something that I already like and have. Actually, let's do my eyebrows first because I feel really weird without eyebrows. I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow and Dark Brown. So just to do my eyebrows really quickly. I just need something on my eyebrows. I'm going to be doing my eyebrows really quick. I'll be right back. Alright, so I primed my eyelids. I did my eyebrows as best as I could. I set some powder down just in case I had some fallout with the palette. I'm going to go ahead and just go into the Nabla palette here, the Secret palette. I'm not sure what I want to do. So I kind of want to use this shade here that says Play Hard. It's like a dual chrome shift. It looks really pretty. But I also have the Dazzle stick that I was mentioning to you guys from KVD Vegan Beauty. So I'm going to pull this out just to show you guys what the shade looks like. See if maybe we can tie it together with the palette and see what we come up with. Because again, I'm not 100% sure what kind of eye look I'm going to be doing. This is what the shadow stick looks like. It's very pretty. Alright, so I got the shade again in Flash Storm. So it's like a cream shadow. I'm going to go ahead and swatch it. Oh, it feels cold. This is what the shade is. Looks very pretty. It has like bluey purple sparkles. I don't even know if you guys can see that. It is very pretty, however. So we'll see how I feel. If it is going to be used, it just feels really cold to the touch. So that is the Dazzle stick from KVD. It's pretty packaging. So we'll see with that, if that comes into play or not. But I'm gonna go ahead and wipe these swatches off. Like I said, I want to try to use that blue shade. Now I have shadow glitter all over my hands because of the Dazzle stick. Okay. So I'm gonna start with maybe this shade here in Contigo, which is like a lighter, kind of like a mauvey brown shade, like mauvey pinky brown. So I'm going to start with that shade. I'm going to grab just a crease brush. I guess I'll just grab my Delium Tools Tapered Blending Brush to start. And I'm going to start again with the shade Contigo all over my crease. Oh gosh, this is exactly why I put powder down. Yay! Okay. Just on my crease here. Oh, it's very pigmented. Okay. Do the same thing on the other eye. And you guys know I'm not a makeup artist. I just kind of do what I feel is gonna look nice on my eyes. or what I kind of know. So I'm gonna just kind of, like I said, blend this shade out. I'm gonna just dust off that part of the shimmer or the powder here. All right, that was the shade in Contigo. It's really pigmented and they're really smooth and easy to blend. I think I'm gonna go in with a little teensy bit of Ghibli, which is the brown here, just to add a little bit more of an intense shade, or like I guess a neutral base. I'm just kind of put it all over my lid, but mostly here on the outer part of my eye. Okay, I'm gonna grab a smaller brush. I'm gonna grab the Sigma Diffuse Crease Brush. This is a little bit smaller, but more like fluttered out. I'm just gonna kind of blend. It's a clean brush just to blend the outer parts of my eye. My headband keeps falling. I'm not sure. I want to go with an intense blue, but I'm really scared. I'm gonna grab this eye shading brush. This is the Sigma E55. I'm gonna grab the shade in Addiction, which is that blue. Just kind of add it here on the outer part. I'm kind of just tapping it on and slowly kind of gonna blend it. I'm gonna grab a BH Cosmetics number 7, has a little bit more of a left fluff, so just to blend the blue into my crease here. It's really easy to blend, to be honest, which is really nice. I'm just gonna kind of grab this shade here. This is the shade I'm Fantasize, which I think I skipped in the swatches, to be honest. I want to grab that shade. Just kind of set it on my lid. It is very pretty, but I'm going to grab the Dazzle stick on top of it. Just add a little bit. Actually, you know what? No. I'm going to grab the shade and Play Hard. Just with my finger here. Just a little bit. Kind of add to intensify. The shade in Fantasize. I would say this shade is a little bit more crumbly, but it is a very pretty shade. I'm gonna grab my blender brush again. That is what we're looking at. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more of Fantasize here on the outer part of the eye. So I kind of have Fantasize all over my, which is this like blue purple all over my lid, and then I have this shade here on the inner and like upper part of my eye. I think that's really pretty. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. I'm gonna add some mascara, some liner, and then I will be right back. All right, so I did some mascara. I did my face, like my bronzer. I just used my Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow for highlighter as well. And then I used Buxom Seychelles, which is a really natural blush. I want to do my lower lash line now. This is what the look ended up looking like. I do like it a lot, to be honest. I was really surprised with how easy these are to apply, the shades. I was kind of scared, but I've heard really good things about Nabla, so I'm really, really in love with this palette. I'm excited to do something with this pink shade that was super vibrant, and I just love it. I mostly use, like I said, this whole middle row. I use the shade Addiction, Fantasize, Play Hard. I use Contigo and Ghibli. Just a little bit of everything, I guess. I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades out of the 15 shades, so I think that's pretty good. Like I said, I'm excited to do more looks with this palette. It is really, really pretty. I'm gonna do my lower lash line really quick though before finishing my look here and just adding some powder. I'm just gonna grab this like Define brush from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm going to grab the shade in Addiction, just kind of lightly and tap it off. Add it to my lower, as close to my lower lash as possible. With the shade Fantasize and the shade Play Hard, there was a little bit of a grittiness to those shades. But they are really, really pretty. The shade in Play Hard, like I said, just has a little bit of that grittiness. I would say use a glitter primer or like a glue to, you know, put that on your lid, because it does, like I said, it's really pretty, especially blended out with the shade in Fantasize, but you have to be very careful. Like, you guys saw how much powder I put under my eyes, which I usually never do, but since I did my face this time, I had to. Again, I really, really like this palette. I'm really happy with the color story. I'm really happy to continue to play with it. Really, really pretty. Quickly here on my thoughts. The foundation, I actually do like. I like how it looks on my face. I like how it doesn't emphasize any, I have some glitter. I like how it doesn't emphasize like specific texture. I do have texture regardless. I'm still working through it with my skin. A lot of medication that I'm taking also has a lot to do with it as well. But anyways, I really love this. I think that the packaging is very, very beautiful. I like how it looks on my skin. I'm excited to continue to play with it. The Kylie Jenner concealer, however, I think I'm going to be returning this. I don't like how it looks on my skin. I don't like the shade. It's just not it for me, so I'm going to have to eventually return that one. What else here? The Dazzle stick I didn't use. I'm gonna probably use it in a video coming up because it is really, really pretty. From KVD. I can even just use it as like a one eye look, which I'm really excited to do here soon. So that will probably be something I'll do. What else? Let me just do my lips real quick before I have one new setting powder or setting spray before I finish. Oh, the powder. This is the MAC Studio Fix Perfecting Powder in Light. I do like this powder. I like how it made my face feel. It doesn't feel super textured. It did add a little bit of texture on my forehead, but I don't think anything like super big or anything like super abnormal. I do like this, however, on my face. I like how it set down my foundation and everything. I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist, which is new to me. I think this is like supposed to be a dupe for the Urban Decay All Nighter, hence the name Stay All Night. But we will see. It has like a little ball at the end that helps. I think move like the product around. I also did try a new mascara, which is the e.l.f. Lash Loud Mascara. I don't really like this mascara. I feel like it transfers really easily. Like, if you excuse me, if you were to apply this on your top lashes, and then you, for example, like accidentally poked your eye because of the wand, or like for any reason, and you've blinked, it would go all over, and that's not something that I like. I'm gonna use it really quickly here on my lower lashes. But however, I will say the times that I have used this mascara, I get asked if I have fake lashes on. So I don't know if you can really tell, because I know the liner kind of makes my, but you can see there it does give length and it does separate the lashes. So I'm going to use some lip. I'm going to just use JK Magic from Charlotte Tilbury here. Really love this color. And yeah, with that, you guys, that is a finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys find the time to hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Leave me any comments down below. Have you guys tried this foundation that's new from KVD? Have you guys tried any of the products that I talked about in today's video? If not, let me know down below. I hope you guys have a good day, night, wherever you guys are, whenever you see this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.